Hello, welcome back. In this video we will show you how to create. In our previous video we already seen that how to install and how to create database. In this particular session what I'll do, I'll create the table. Okay, so we will go to this particular folder using through the cmd, and I'll open one particular database. Okay, so for that what I have to do, I have to use the SQLite3 command, and then what I will do, I have to open command, and then I'll go to my database. Okay, my db, and then I'll press the enter, and from here I'll create. So for that we have to write some comments. Now we'll create the table. So for that we have to use the SQL command. So to create a table you have to use the create table command. So let me write the create table, and then what you have to do, you have to give the table name. So here I'll just give the name as a my table, and then you have to create the column name. Okay, so I'll take the three column over here: id, name and age. id will be integer and primary key, name will be the string, and age will be integer. So for that what we have to do, we have to type our column name, for example id, and then it will be integer and it will be primary key. Okay, next what we have to do, next I'll take as a name, and then what we have to do, you have to give the as a string string. Name will be the text, and then what I have to do, we have to take the age, and age will be integer. Okay, and then after that we have to end the bracket, and then give a semicolon, and then click enter. So as you can see that our table created and no error is there. So if you want to see the data inside this particular my table, what you have to do, you have to use the select select star from my table, and then my table should be small letter, and then give a semicolon. You can see no data is there. So first you have to insert some data inside this particular my table, then you can see the data, right? So for that what you have to do, you have to insert the data inside the my table. So for that we will write a command insert into. So then you have to give the insert into, and then you have to give the name of your table, my table, and for which column you have to give it as a small letter my table, and then you have to give the name of the column in which you want to add the data. So here I have to specify the id, name, and then age, and then you have to keep the bracket in, and then you have to specify the values. Okay, and inside this bracket you have to specify the values. Okay, and here I'll specify the age as 1, name as I'll specify my name, and then what we have to do, we have to specify the age. Okay, so here I'll give as a 25, and then I'll press the enter, and before that I have to give the semicolon, and as you can see no error is there. That means it is executed perfectly. And if you want to see the data, then you can use the select star from my table. So as you can see that when we create enter, and you can see the data over here 1, Roman and Siri, and 25. And if you want to insert one more data, so what you have to do, you can change the name over here. Okay, and you can give another name, for example John, and you can specify as a 24, and you can enter. Obviously you have to give the semicolon, otherwise it will keep the error. And as you can see that it is showing the runtime error, unique constraint. Why? Because one id is already present, so that's why it is giving the error, because we know that id integer is a primary key, and primary key mean it should not be copied in each and every column inside the table. So that's why you have to change the ID. Okay, so how will change? You have to from 1 to you have to give 2 because it's primary key, and then you can give the semicolon at the last and you can enter, and no error is there. Now you can, if you want to see the data, then use the select star from database, and you can see the data 1 Roman answer 25, 2 John 24. So this way you can create the database, this way you can create the table and you can insert the data inside your table, and if you want to see, then you can also see that. Okay, and if you want to see some specific data or some specific column, then what you have to do, you have to use the select, and then don't use the star. Instead of this, you have to give the column name. For example, I want to see only the name column. Okay, name or ID or name. Then what you have to do, you have to specify ID and name, and then from which table you want to see, that you have to specify. You have to specify from. Okay, and then give the name of your table, my table. Okay, like this, and then give a semicolon and then press enter. So here in this result you can see only 1 Romansary and 2 John, no age is showing over here. So this is the difference between the star. Star mean whatever the column is present inside the table, it will show all the column, and if you want to specify some specific column, then you have to specify that particular column instead of star, and then you have to select that particular table to see that particular column's data only. So I hope you understood. In the next video we'll talk about another thing related to table, and if you want to create more table, you can also do that inside your database. Okay, so thanks for watching this video. See you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.